I could remember that moment and how wonderful I felt. And in my calendar, I would have weekend feels on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Because we'd go for a walk, have a cup of coffee, breakfast if we were hungry, whatever.
Yeah.
And I felt we would wait. Normally you'll be like, oh, I'll see you on a Saturday. And you taught me that. Okay? But the fact of doing something deliberate on a Wednesday that involved, I mean, at work, if you had a breakfast meeting or something, it was different. But the fact that you get ahead of the day, not even that, because it's less about productivity. It's great that we got the walk in. What was better is that it was a weekend feel on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'd leave you in the middle of the week and say, oh my God, that was like a Saturday.
Yeah. Or vacation.
You filled my
even.
bucket. Yes, it felt like vacation.
We would sit in. If you want to see and hear what it sounds like. Make sure to get it in the mic.
ASMR.
Yeah.
I feel like I should turn off the automatic fan on the, that thing bugs me. So then you cut off when you're getting ready, when you do your own thing. Oh, that one went away.
What?
Can you hand me that lighter again? It's up over there.
Okay, so we're rolling now.
All right.
And yeah, I sometimes take if you want to hold that.
Take the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Feeling great. My happy place. It's a little muggy out here though.
It is.
It just rained and it's warm, but the breeze is coming in now.
It's colder earlier.
I love it after it rains.
But yeah, these mics are just super fun to use.
They're dorks.
And recording, and I'm loving this whole setup.
I love my backyard. I have to say, this is one of the reasons I fell in love with this house.
Yeah.
After living in a townhouse in Alexandria, which I loved, and it was so much closer to DC, and my commute was 10 times better. But to back to the woods and see fox and deer and all my outdoor pets, all my little animals.
Yeah.
Makes me happy, my hummingbirds. And especially during the pandemic, having the space to roam was my life breath. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just loving all the green.
And I love when you're here because I love your energy. Yeah, and the green is good right after. Sometimes I forget. I don't like the mosquitoes and the pollen. I came in last night and the pollen was getting to me. But you know what? All it takes is I will get jealous. I'll go to Phoenix, to Arizona, or go somewhere, Scottsdale. And I love it there too. And I have good hair days, and the dry heat is just lovely for your skin. And ooh, this is great. Come home and the greenery, there's something about nature and nature bathing and in any context. But that green, I don't know. I love the four seasons. I love also spring and everything. But most definitely the green is like no other. It's uplifting. It's a reason green spaces are important in cities. And they build them for a purpose.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
have you interviewed other people, or
one other person?
Okay.
Because why?
Because I've only seen your video of you talking.
Oh yeah.
So I was just wondering. I was like, I don't know how this works.
I know. I did one with one other person, and then I went on.
Okay. One. And what was the other person doing?
My friend Gabby. She's been coming over for the Artist's Way.
Ah, cool.
And she'll just come sit down, and like everything that she would say, I'm like, this is good stuff that I want to remember. Ooh, and I want to share with other people. And so I've just been having fun. Like, this is one of my dreams, is to just have other people on these YouTube videos. I think of that frequently. Podcasts.
Sometimes you just have such a great conversation and a great connection with people.
I'm going to capture it.
Yes.
And share it and look back on it.
Because life is what happens when you're making plans, right? And it's all of those little connections. I'm a bit of an introvert, extrovert. So, I talk to people when I go out and about. And I've always seemed to make fast friends, but I'm not a big commitment person or have to see my friends kind of thing. Like, it's interesting, but you recognize how it fills you up when you do. So I think, to look back on that and remind yourself it's the pockets of joy in life that you have to turn to. I think I always say, like, it is what it is. This too shall pass. So when things are really, really good, you better live it, man. Make sure your feet are where your head's where your feet are, and you're soaking every moment of it in. And I'm very curious, luckily. It's my ADD, ADHD, whatever we call it nowadays. But basically, I'll dilly-dally. I'll come out to check the mail, and next thing you know, I'm looking at my flowers. But to me, those are my little, and I've learned to be more genteel with myself and give myself grace, because I was sharing with you yesterday, you sent that reel to me regarding I don't know, remember, non-sleep deep rest.
Yeah.
So I listened to what you sent me and I couldn't get through it. And so I'm trying to find the appropriate method to use, because I think a lot of people do this. They think that being mindful has to look a certain way, be a certain way. Like anything else in life, you get something set in your mind and you think that's the shoulds of your life, of what it should be. And I'm recognizing that's not the case. So I'm learning to appreciate the fact that when I stop and I see a bee or a bumblebee or whatever it is that is intrigued me at that moment in time, whether it be human, animal, energy, the sky, I have to know that's my moment of mindfulness and just being, I tend to hyperfocus. I appreciate things. Yeah. That counts.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be super structured.
And I'm recognizing that counts as mindfulness. So I listened to what you had sent me yesterday. The woman's voice reminded me of one of the characters in Severance. Did you watch Severance?
Gosh, I'll have to watch that. I haven't even listened to this video. Okay. This is my brother's really into non-sleep deep rest, and I have done some before years ago, but I haven't listened to that specific one. But yeah, now anytime I listen to affirmations or meditations, I'm like, this is that therapist in that Severance.
Yes. So I got the ick. And I couldn't relax.
Loves butterflies.
Right. So I'm listening to that and she's being kind. And now you're cheek, and now you're this, and I'm hearing this person's voice, and I'm going, oh, I just can't.
Yeah.
Now I can't shake that. So I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to, basically, I've been loving this content creation, as you know. I've been on YouTube since February now, so almost 4 months.
And so courageous to me. So courageous. I'm so excited for you.
And I packed these mics, and I didn't know if I was going to use them.
They're so cute.
I know. I love them. And I ended up, making a few videos,
and I'm confused because I think you have to have lithium batteries on your carry-on now, not packed or vice versa. There's some new rules, and I'm going to fly next week, and I need to figure out the rules are.
See if you can bring something like this.
Now I'm looking at things with batteries going, oh, is that TSA approved?
Yeah, I wonder.
Where do I pack this?
Yeah, they're charger ones, but yeah.
So I think that's what makes them lithium, that they're rechargeable.
Oh, okay.
And even when I go to recycle things,
yeah,
I brought a bunch of batteries. They're like, oh, we don't accept those. They can go right in the trash. And I was surprised. So anyway.
But yeah, so I've just had my
imagine why I get distracted.
I've just had my eyes and ears open for who would want to be on a podcast with you and with me, and you're an obvious first candidate.
Because I'm always game.
Yeah, always open and a lot to say. To say the least. No, but
That's only half of it, let me tell you.
Becoming an adult. I know.
As you know.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so, but I want to just share a little. This is my Aunt Deb.
Hi.
And we're in Virginia. I'm visiting from San Diego. I'm visiting my family. And becoming an adult and going into the professional world, when I was in an office for a year and then moving out to San Diego where I knew nobody and I'm trying to build community and make friends and everything, your energy and your advice and just how my Aunt Deb lives around, the way that you show up in the world is so admirable.
Thank you, sweetie.
And I've adopted your energy in so many different ways, and also the tangible advice that you've given me has made a huge difference in how much I feel like I belong in places and I have community and I feel seen and heard because I'm making others feel valued and seen and heard and just making others feel good as I go about the world.
And you inspire me. You're fearless, girl.
We're obsessed with each other, by the way.
It's amazing. We are. Fan club, mutual fan club. Because I feel seen and heard. Because I'm not the kook.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
I am
same.
a cook, but it
Literally
doesn't
same.
matter. It's who I am. And guess what? That's my secret sauce. That's who I am.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm a little wacky, but you know what? I bring it and I own it. And I can't imagine being anything else or being anyone else. And the more I give myself permission to be who I am, the better. And
Yeah.
stop looking where you don't fit and find out. And I shared with you, I had an awakening like years ago, probably
Yeah.
6 years ago now, 7, whatever. It was prior to the pandemic. And I went to yoga retreat, Palo. And
Oh, yeah.
I'd never felt so normal is a good word to put it. When you find your people and you find your vibe, it's
Oh, yeah.
amazing. And it was just marked with, and this whole idea of protecting your energy, it was something I always knew. And sometimes we have to hear things in multiple ways for it to connect. So, and we share when we've read something, and sometimes it connects and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm so curious as you are. And so I am inspired by you, and you are so courageous and so brave. And I know you believe the same, which is which is always leave things better than when you found them.
Yeah.
And that's the world, humans, people. I've learned so much from you.
And such non-judgment and
gosh,
acceptance
yes.
and inclusiveness.
And not to say I'm human. I judge. Yeah, there's just something about it. There's an ant right there.
Oh my.
Just flick it. It's a big one. It rains. Just get it before it gets here. Just flick it. Go, little guy. Fly, be free.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Thanks. Yesterday it was wild that the chipmunk was in here too.
Oh,
see, we have such great energy. It brings all the, I feel sometimes like a Disney princess.
Creepy crawlers.
Oh, my little animals.
Yeah.
Even the ants want to be near us. Because we're so sweet.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank you for saying that. Again, that means the world to me.
I'm trying to think, even just like how you give without accepting anything in return. Like you are just overflowing with love to anyone, like a bartender, a server, like somebody in the street, or any of our friends that you meet. Like they all feel so loved and seen. And
thank you.
Like you don't wait for somebody to meet you first. And I think I used to do this, like wait until I knew that the other person liked me enough before acting like a friend to them.
And it's funny because I have heard feedback sometimes, like especially in the pandemic, I would share openly at work. We'd have these Zoom calls, and a couple people, I always will tell people, be careful of. It's not that people will say negative things. Be careful of who and what you let influence you. Your own words, others' words. So I would let some people get in my head sometimes. So I remember somebody one time saying, oh my gosh, you always have to. I would really have a lot to say, and I'm an interrupter. And my filter is not there. I'm very impulsive.
Yeah.
And I recognize that. And especially if I know people and they're presenting. And during the beginning of these Zoom calls in the pandemic, I honestly had this approach that if someone was showing up, I needed to give them feedback and let them know I was in the room. Yay, let's go. I'm for you. Great job, Emily. I'm a cheerleader. And it's funny because someone then said to me, kiss ass. What do you have to say something on every call? You're one of those. And I was so shocked that someone would take away my participation and my cheerleading as it being for me.
Yeah.
Because and people thought that too. Like there are other times where people are like, God, we were wondering. It's almost like you're not, if you get into an elevator and someone's nice to you, I think at times, and sometimes I can still feel that way. It's a little off-putting. If you're not used to it, you wonder, oh, you're cynical. Oh, what do you want from me?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And people didn't believe that I did not want anything in return.
Yeah.
I truly
and
do
that's how you're treating
give
everyone.
freely.
Yeah.
And so I've stopped thinking that there's something wrong with me. And people have said, oh, you talk too much. And I've learned to think if I don't say, sometimes I say, compared to who? Because it's your opinion. Thank you very much. We all have them. And I just think it's being so centered. And I don't know if it comes with age because I was not like this before. And I grew up with anxiety.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
Wait, really?
Oh, people.
You weren't always like this?
No. I would talk a lot, but I don't know because I went to Catholic school and you weren't allowed to talk at all. So I'm sure my attention deficit presented differently than the boys who were running around because I have the distraction looking out the window at something versus running around the room. But I remember like winning most talkative in 8th grade or something. So I've always been a talker.
Yeah.
However, I definitely was a pleaser more.
Okay.
I'm not sure I wasn't doing it from a place of security.
Yeah.
I'm so okay with who I am right now. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember having anxiety, going out with girlfriends. We didn't have phones. If you said you were going to show up at 7 or so and so was picking you up, you better be ready. And we're in Jersey, and you're like, we're going to go to the beach. We're going to go to Jenkinson's. We're going to go to Manhattan. We're going to go to a club. I sat in a car like outdoors of a club.
Oh yeah.
No one was going to drive home and like or take me home. And I would remember being petrified, not wanting to go into a club or go somewhere where I felt not knowing what to do with this energy that I had,
mm-hmm.
or being worried how I would show up.
Yeah.
And the same thing, work events. And I try to be more aware of it, because if you talk over someone, you don't want somebody to think that uh, when it's kind of, you want to connect with them and say, oh, me too. But you're not trying to one up them or make it your story. Oh gosh, there's so much there. And it's about masking. It takes so much energy to go out into the world and not be authentic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like when you're a kid and you're at school and sometimes you act out when you get home. Your mom's like, how was your day? And you're like, wah.
Yeah.
Because you weren't going to do that to your teacher, or your coach, or your friend on the bus, or whomever. So you get home and you dump on the people that love you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where, and then when you're a parent and you're masking, and then you're doing it so that you can help your child, I felt like I couldn't give what I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me think, and it made me do a lot of research in terms of studies that have been done that they hadn't been done on women, and how things present differently, and then hormonal factors. Oh my gosh, I can go on forever. But all of that stems from that. Thank you for saying you like the way I show up. That's lovely to hear. Some people don't. It's too much for some people. And I get it.
Yeah. I feel like we've talked about that before too.
We probably have, because I'm sure I annoy people, or I'm sure I say, and I
you're not for everyone, and that's okay.
Right. And I try to be aware. Not everyone likes juicy peaches. Some people like apples and bananas. It's okay.
Yeah.
Some people don't eat fruit.
Yeah.
That's all right. But you don't have to own that. You know, and I'm sure that's true too. Like, you're an acorn. You come from an oak tree. You are either going to be an oak tree or not. You're never going to be a maple. You're an acorn.
Mm-hmm.
You're an oak tree. If you're near water and sun, you'll flourish as one.
You can try to look like a flower, but you're an oak tree, so it's
going to take an oak tree.
A lot of effort, and you're not fooling anyone.
Correct.
And you're not going to attract the people that you're supposed to.
Right. And to what end?
Yeah.
So I accept that. I also try to walk through society and not be the yapper sitting next to someone on a plane. And I've also been on the opposite end, where someone was doing that to me and I was trying to get away, or did not have the energy to deal. So you learn, and you hold yourself accountable, but with compassion.
Yeah.
Right? So thank you for saying that again. And it's interesting. And I would rather go through life knowing that I'm coming from a great space and coming from a place of authenticity and giving and loving, than worrying about if someone's going to think I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
Or, you know?
I think that's a good message.
And not like, oh, I don't care. I want to make everyone feel uncomfortable. The hell with you. It's not like that.
Yeah. There's a line. And like interrupting.
Yeah. And who would think? Somebody said something to me recently, one of Chip's friends, because I was explaining something to him about trying to plan going away for the weekend with another couple. And this person I've known for many, many years. And I get it, if I'm not asked at the appropriate time, sometimes I could come across as snarky, but what it is it's anxiety. I don't want to be pinned down. I have a hard time showing up, making plans, what have you. And I'd shared that, and I'd shared about the anxiety of it all. And the person said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you put that much thought. Like, it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
I think everybody does that. And it's interesting, even though you know it from an intellectual perspective, feels are completely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fascinating though. So good. I love my water. I know. This is my favorite new water bottle. It's called Brewmate.
Nice.
And it's really neat. It's got this little top on it, and it says sip or clean. You could take it out. But what's also neat about it, is it has a if you're worried about plastics or BPAs or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's super cool because it's got a stainless steel or a metal straw.
Nice.
Which I think's neat.
Yeah, you also have a lot of good gadgets and stuff. Like that octopus thing. I need to get another one of those.
Yeah, the jellyfish one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what? I'm like a little kid that gets excited with toys.
Yeah.
Everything excites me. I try and declutter in the what is it, Marie Kondo, and that which sparks joy. I'm like, what if everything sparks joy?
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I must have it all.
Okay. Yes. And yeah, this will continue to be unstructured and everything, and all this is great. But just to wrap up, like what my thought was is I just want to capture like the essence of you and your energy and like some of the conversations that we have together.
Cool.
And I have a million examples of like things that I've learned from you and things that you've told me that have shaped me, and we might touch on some of those, but just let whatever comes up come up.
This is so wonderful.
Because I want to capture this stuff because you forget.
You do forget.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot that I have forgotten.
Oh, there's so much that I think when we were present, I loved when you lived here and we would walk at like 5:30 in the morning and I'd meet you in Old Town Alexandria.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
And then after we walked for like an hour and a half, Burke Lake Park, Old Town Alexandria, Meadowlark Gardens.
Oh, yeah.
But we would meet, and in my calendar, I would have weekend feels on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Because we'd go for a walk, have a cup of coffee, breakfast if we were hungry, whatever.
Yeah.
And I felt we would wait. Normally you'll be like, oh, I'll see you on a Saturday. And you taught me that.
Yeah.
I've always been such an extraordinarily
live for the weekend
overworker. I don't know. Oh. Like I just work.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even think of doing something. I mean, there were, and because we'd work out early in the morning too. I like to wake up early if I can get my sleep and go to bed on time, etc., and get the most of the day. But the fact of doing something deliberate on a Wednesday that involved, I mean, at work, if you had a breakfast meeting or something, it was different. But the fact that you get ahead of the day, not even that, because it's less about productivity. It's great that we got the walk in. What was better is that it was a weekend feel on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'd leave you in the middle of the week and say, oh my God, that was like a Saturday.
Yeah. Or vacation.
You filled my bucket. Yes, it felt like vacation.
We would sit in Mosaic and like I was dancing because I was learning dances at the time. Like,
and look at things, even when we went to like the Lincoln Memorial and you were doing yoga.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you, I can't believe it took us this long to figure this out. And I was so sad you were going to go to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times we don't talk as much, many times. We definitely don't talk as much. We don't see as much, obviously. But it's that same feeling. You fill my bucket of joy. And it's just, but I loved that. And I have to remember that I need to have those weekend feels on a Wednesday for myself. Even if it's not you, because you are my muse. You're the girl who, and it started because your mom had to have surgery. I know you and your mom would work out early in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And your mom and I used to work out like way back in our 20s together. We'd get up. Your dad would be sitting in the car like, how the hell are you two talking this much first thing in the morning? We'd get up, work out. And it was, I recall I would see you guys sometimes at the gym, and I would meet with a trainer sometimes and see you. And then when your mom had surgery and couldn't work out with you is when first time I got to work out with you at the gym.
Oh. And
you know what you taught me? That I did not, the consistency was better than hurting yourself or it was at the point in time when you had recognized, I think that you had been long distance running, doing something where you had recognized to listen to your body and to recognize the pain and the recovery part of it, which is just as important as working out hard.
Mm-hmm.
And after all of my years of being an athlete and working out and acknowledging that I was, even though I'm overweight, I'm still an athlete.
Yeah.
And recognizing, yes, I go to the gym. Yes, I lift. I'm an athlete. But that mindset and that compassion was always missing. And that's the other thing. I've always had compassion for others.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recognized that's the compassion you need for yourself. Game changer. And you taught me that.
Wow.
So I love you, girl. You're amazing. 2 doves. How sweet is that?
Cool.
God, it's warm out here.
I know.
It's not that it's warm because I'm comfortable. It's humid.
Yeah.
I guess it's good for the skin.
Like a sauna.
It is like a little sauna.
see. I'm trying to think. I remember when you told me to get like Starbucks gift cards for the flight attendants.
Oh, yes.
Just like your generosity also.
Thank you.
Always like gift giving to us, and
I love giving gifts.
Yeah, flight attendants and stuff.
It's also helped me to accept gifts. My father-in-law's gift is so generous.
Yeah.
His time, his effort. We just celebrated his 80th birthday. What can I do for you? What can I get you? Oh, and he'll be sad if you don't ask him for something, right? He'll want to grab my bags and take them to the car and do everything for me. And I recognized that I do now. It helped me to allow him to care for me.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Uncle Chip, like when I got my Achilles surgery. I recognized how good it was that I'm this strong, independent person, allowing others to take care of you. I don't want to take the joy from them because it feels good to give.
Yeah.
And so I recognize that too, that if this person offers and is willing to do something for me, allow them to do so. You're not taking from them. You're actually helping them fulfill the purpose in their life that they need and desire.
True.
It was really wild. But yeah, I end up like going when I was like traveling, getting like $5 gift cards because sometimes, and I didn't decide on purpose and I never did it to get anything. Like I wouldn't, you hear a scenario like, oh, here's $20. Do I get the good table by the away from the kitchen or whatever? And I dated people like that when I was like, it just got the X from it. And I'm like, I'm very impressed. It was kind of weird. But it was the fact that if I saw somebody experience composure in a service, in the service industry, or I will usually try and compliment if I saw a dad in Target the other day, and these 3 little kids were just, 2 boys in the car were like batting each other. They were looking for a Mother's Day something or other. And I said something to them. I said, oh, they're so sweet. I said, I know what Mama wants. She wants you to take them out to Target at least 2 hours a day for, whatever. Now we were teasing. And I just told him how amazing it was that they were all, but he was really trying to keep it all together with these 3. And you get so used to people giving you the side eye when you're trying to manage children or whatever you're trying to do, or you make a mistake and oops, you missed your turn. And we're so how about you give someone grace? People are so surprised when you actually hold the door open for them, as opposed to you slam the elevator button and like, oh, can we shut it before they get here? Oop, too bad, sucker, you missed it. Like it just doesn't feel good.
True.
Oh and I don't even know if people do that on purpose.
Sometimes. Not even on purpose. I'm just like, I would rather be alone sometimes. And one time the other week, I went into an elevator and I like went into the corner and there was an older couple like walking very slow and they're like, hold please.
Darn, they saw me.
Like 45 seconds of like holding, but like it was good.
Yeah.
But see, even now, like I'm going to think about that. And next
time.
I
think of that. Even like I remember I would tell my kids like we'd go to, it's weird because the things that come to mind for me are just such little things. Like you go and you spend time at a hotel and I, do the sweep of the room to make sure everyone had their parts before we left. And you brought your stuffed animal and the plugins and whatever, and check the drawer, see if people leave things under the bed and what have you. But I would tell them, like, even when we got to a hotel, first of all, no trash, like, and also taking the kids to like beach week with their friends and all of that. Don't treat everybody with a certain level of respect and humanity. And so for me, one of the things I do is when I go to a hotel, I use 1 trash can.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there's 3.
Yeah.
Why do you make them empty 3 trash cans?
Yeah.
The room is 12 by 10, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Do you really need 1 in the bathroom, 1 next to the refrigerator or whatever, and 1 over? So I make a point to use just the 1 trash room in the bathroom. It's little, it's simple. Don't know if it matters. It matters to me.
Yeah.
And it's also good for the environment now. You know what I mean? But really, I first did it thinking or making sure, I might use the other bed if I put something on it to sit or do whatever, but I don't like undo everything and just, yes, I paid for that room.
Yeah.
But I try not to, I pray to be satiated and then it's enough, So anyway, it was just that sense of, can you imagine if there was just 1 trash can for the 200 rooms and that was less times they wouldn't have to line it with plastic, but some people just, because they're paying to stay in that room. And I've been out with people who were somewhere and they go, oh, people get paid to do that. And whatever. Like, ew, that bothers me. And sometimes things bother you because you would act differently, but those are just things that innate. That's one of the things, like, I love when I met my husband, because he would return the cart or just be a decent human. We went to the movies and he like took our stuff, put it in the trash can. Did not just think about it. Just, again, be a decent human. It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you for all of that. I do appreciate it.
You're also somebody I call when I have a meeting with somebody more like higher level or important or networking things. Like, you've taught me to treat the CEO like anyone else. Like,
for sure. They're all human. There's a certain amount of respect, but at the end of the day, and I think they appreciate it. Yeah. The number of people I've become friends with or had interactions with, they don't always want to talk about the market and how the company's doing and what are the goals. Sometimes they just want to talk about where they're going on vacation and I've learned so much more. I've had some of the best conversations when people let their guard down and are vulnerable and are human with one another.
Yeah.
And it's also made me have nothing. I've had more respect for them because you didn't have your CFO and your finance team and your outside counsel and everybody tell me what the whatever numbers were for work. Like, and even when I interview people, I want to know about them. I want to know, like, what makes you tick?
Yeah.
What brings you joy? That tells me much more than some of the transactional things that folks consider. I think that's just important.
Oh, so there's a body language expert that's been on a few podcasts, like the Diary of a CEO and stuff, and she talks about this, but you've done this forever, just naturally, and I do it because of you.
What?
The what?
Amy Cuddy, like the power pose, or what?
Not power pose. I forget what her name
Leaning
is.
into people, or
no, texting people when you think of them. And if you see something valuable,
I definitely
send them an article.
That. Oh, I definitely do that. I do it just because I honestly think they might appreciate it.
Yeah. No, yeah. You're adding value to people's lives.
Yeah, I'm not like, hey, I need a job, remember me, or whatever. It's just kind of something comes up and they mentioned the fact that they were in Canada and they're going somewhere, and I think, oh wow, that's really cool. Like, try the poutine, or this is the best thing I read about having a Nanama bar or something cool. And for me, it's usually food or drink. Sometimes it's a great place to run. I connect with people on multitude of levels.
Yeah, also books, or like if you see news about their company, or
I do
stuff like that.
I do.
And it goes along with the generosity and giving without expecting in return and adding value, and also showing that you know things about them.
Yes.
And it's like very no pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is how you are.
I am.
Which
it's like wild to me that now that's advice.
No, I know.
I'm like, wow.
I know. That's why I'm trying to do this. Because there's so many things I've learned from you, and just like that I know in general that
it just seems obvious, like business as usual. Correct.
Like,
I'm like, everybody doesn't do that?
I know, right?
Yeah. No, everyone. And every time I read something, like, I got a hack. I'm like, hack? We've been doing that since the 70s. Yeah. That's no hack.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny though. But yeah, you can't assume everyone, because everyone has different experiences.
Yeah. And I think it's along with this energy, but the way that I view it recently is like, I feel no pressure. Like, I'm not giving any pressure to people to respond to me. I don't care if they do or not. Like, you're giving. Agreed. And if they only like the message or don't even respond or something, I'm even sure you don't even care.
If you don't do it for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like, I think of you.
Yeah. Well, and I did feel that way about, I think I commented so much when people were sharing that I didn't even consider that there would be a negative to it. Like, oh, someone's going to think I'm a kiss ass because I have to speak on everything. I was so much just living in the moment. So think about it though. I mean, and you don't want to think about it almost. It's kind of funny. Had you told me don't think about that, I probably would have found it harder. I didn't even know that could be taken that way. And so I
Which?
find that interesting that someone could take a negative out of something.
Oh.
Like, oh, Emily sends articles to everyone
Oh my
because she's
gosh.
trying to network or
Oh,
whatever.
no, no, no.
Whatever.
I don't think that. I just think, I don't know. It's like a hotter topic these days, like people feeling like they need to respond immediately
Oh,
if they get a
definitely.
text.
Definitely. I'm not
And so
like
I'm
that.
like seeing things through that lens and not necessarily the
Right.
articles, but just text in
I
general.
understand.
Um, because
Yes.
I've been putting things out like the articles and stuff because of you. Like I just when I think of them,
Yeah.
I'll do it and people will respond. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
do try and connect more with people when I see things that remind me of them or something they may find interesting, or just drop a line and be like, hey.
yeah. Oh my gosh, another thing I've been loving so much recently when I call you any time of day, like you answer and we talk about how like just the 7 or 12 minute phone
Right. Like I'm going
conversation.
somewhere, I have 4 minutes and we
Yeah.
utilize it.
But also just the like one time you said you answer the phone because you never know what the mental state of the person on the other end is.
Yes.
And just like they could be really
Yes.
struggling and you don't want to like
Not answer it.
if you're able to.
If I'm able to, I'm
Like
not right.
obviously don't.
I correct. I
Obviously
don't,
no pressure and like
no, and I
I'll be fine if
understand that.
not, but like
But if I can, sometimes you don't answer because you just don't feel like talking to anybody. And
yeah.
I try not to do that. I try to at least answer it if I'm able to and tell the person. I used to say I'll call you right back, but that doesn't work because then I won't call you back because
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
I'm my mind or I'm
I know.
on a crazy train.
Yeah.
Like I've got back to back meetings or I know. So I stop that lying of call you right back because that's
Yeah.
not going to happen. I'm booked back to back for meetings, but or whatever I'm doing that day, or I'm at the gym and it's going to be, or if I'm at the dentist and it could be 2 hours or three, whatever. But yeah, most definitely, I do think of that to just say, hey, and sometimes even it's my automatic response that says, in a meeting, can I call you back? Or can't talk right now.
Yeah.
And that way, if the person needs me, they could say, not important, we'll catch up when we can. And I even say that to my friends. There are many
Yeah.
friends that I know. Sometimes I can't tell if I've texted them 2 or 3 times, if they're going through a period, because sometimes I tend to hide when things are not well.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother people, which is so silly.
Even though going back to what you said earlier, people
Yes.
probably want to help.
Yes. And I recently had this conversation with my dear friend from college, and it was, oh my gosh, that's when you should be calling me. And I was really proud of
Oh
myself.
yeah.
I was driving to Tennessee. It was like 2 weekends ago. And I reached out to this person and I told her, and my girlfriend Cher. And I'm like, yeah, I probably should have called you. But, oh God, I've been like sucking, air and just trying to like stay
Yeah.
on top of things. And she was like, that's when you should be calling. I was like, I know,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to bother you. And it was Mother's Day and she lost her mom last year. And I just like didn't want to burden her.
Mm-hmm.
But my problems were not the same as her problems as a mom. And you want to be there as a friend.
Yeah.
And if she's going through a funk, helping me and just talking to her, I felt better.
Wow. Yeah.
And there's many times you too. I've
I
had a
know.
funky day and you call me and I feel better just talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's the other thing. I think I told you this. I read an article one time about, and this is what made me answer the phone more. Griffin would call me a lot sometimes during high school, whatever, and being at school and during the pandemic was weird. And if he got had anxiety or what have you and needed to talk to me during the day, it was impossible to constantly have to answer that phone and have to deal with that type of crisis. So I would say I'm at work. I was trying to set boundaries because I also wanted him to be resilient and know he could get through this. It's really hard. And that was difficult. But I remember so we're past that, thank God. Oh, thank you. And basically, it was, I read the fact that and I don't leave a lot of voice messages. Basically, if I call Kendall, it's her voice box, mailbox is full. Do you know how many people I call that it's not even set up?
Wow.
Right. And when I leave a voicemail for people, I'm like, well, we know you're over 40 because I'm leaving you a voicemail because nobody else does, because people just don't leave voicemails. What's interesting is I read this thing saying that just a person in distress or even an animal hearing their mother's voice calms them down immediately. They've hooked people up to whatever type of electrodes or that would some way of measuring your bodily functions, heart rate, pulse, anxiety, however they would test that. just by hearing your mother's voice.
Wow.
I don't know if it's the same for fathers, it might be, but I remember reading that many years ago and I thought, wow, that's amazing.
Even my heart rate from my Aura ring, it drops to restorative from stressed if I call like my mom or
it's amazing.
People. Yeah.
Yes. I want to get a ring for that purpose.
It's crazy.
That's really neat. Yes, and if you notice that, and also noticing grounding yourself or just focusing on your breathing, but I also recognizing that me just saying, hey, in a meeting, can't chat, the plane door is about to close, at a gas station, there's, whatever, I'm going through the checkout, whatever reason I can't answer, to let you know is okay.
Yeah.
That changed my thought process and also got me, it's just interesting. But that was the start. That's why I think I really made an attempt. And it's hard. It could be overwhelming because we still have a landline. They call you on your phone. They call you. I have 2 cell phones. They DM you, Slack you, email you. 4 people are calling you about the same subject matter, right?
Yeah.
It's fatiguing.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be everyone and all the time.
Correct. For sure. And I love how when I would talk to you and you were going out to look at the sunset or on the beach and I have your phone with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember being I was like, oh, that's not safe.
I know.
Like, oh, stop.
I know.
You know?
Now I have that brick. Do you know I'm obsessed
with
this
brick. I know, and I need to learn about this brick thing.
It's awesome. Because then I can have my phone and be available for calls, but nothing else, basically.
I love that. Yeah, I need to implement something like that. I even need to do that on my landing page for work because MSN shows up or whatever. It has the Microsoft. If they do the news page, I don't need to see this. Stop it.
Different homepage.
Yeah, I need something different. Landing. I'm going to put the homepage that's like something. Yeah, something very different. Even if it's a picture, I got to get rid of the news. I read enough news. Just need to turn away from it for a while.
I have like moments where I get nervous when I like don't know what to say next. When I'm with another person. But I'm excited to be practicing this because I want to like practice to the point where I forget that the camera's there and I'm just as comfortable with and without it.
That's neat.
And I kind of am that way when I don't have another person. Yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah, I'm not good at this stuff, so it's really neat to me.
What part? Like the technology, or like how do you feel now talking? And
I'm fine because I'm trying to
trying to act like you're fine.
Not that I'm acting, no, because I am fine. I'm just
foreign.
I never it's foreign. I just the thought of putting forth content.
Yeah,
like who the hell would want to know? Yeah. But I listen to other people's podcasts.
I know.
I get nuggets, and I think they're wonderful. I get nuggets from you. You say stuff and it resonates with me. Even like the artist way. Like, this is fabulous because I love Audible because I have a very hard time sticking with a book, bringing it with me. And I don't like Kindle. And I've tried to like stick with books and I can't finish them. And even if I'm trying to read at home, I'm looking at and I'm thinking, oh, I have a million things to do. It's hard for me to focus on a book. Love Audible. And if I'm driving or I'm go to the gym or taking a walk or whatever I'm doing the dishes, I can listen to Audible and get through a book. And so for me, it was almost like Cliff Notes, if you will, which was the olden, do you know what Cliff Note is? There used to be these yellow covered. So when you didn't read a book report and you wanted the synopsis, you'd have to buy the Cliff Note.
Oh my gosh. I only know the online version.
Oh, well, there were actual books way back.
Or Spark Notes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or there was like ones that had encyclopedias in the neighborhood. And if the library was closed, you'd call your friend up and be like, are you using the M? Because I'm doing a project on monkeys and I need the M encyclopedia. It's just so crazy that now it's amazing where we're at in terms of knowledge and technology and how everything's at your fingertips all the time. And that's another thing. I'm curious and it's hard because I always want to answer my questions immediately.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I was listening to something how like used to have to pay a lot of money for like tapes of the people like Tony Robbins or like these business and personal development stuff, self-help. You used to have to pay for all of it.
Yes.
And now there's so much
content out there. You can learn anything online. It's amazing.
Yeah.
How do I change an air filter? How do I hook up whatever? It's wild. It's really cool.
Anything else about like the way that you are, the way that you live or think or view the world?
Yeah, I can't really think of
anything that you'd
anything.
want to share? Or things that have impacted you, like books or experiences?
Books and experiences. Oh gosh, there's so many. Gosh. Which is why I love you doing this, because you're right. Like, and we've gone through, I've journaled before.
Yeah.
I take notes on things, but you do forget. And I love the repetitive nature, and also the fact that it's the same. None of this is new.
Yeah.
In life, in self-help, in leadership, or whatever. Sometimes it's said in a different way and it resonates.
And it's so cool having it all online. Like, imagine, like, we could have been doing this for years. Like,
Yes.
What's the thing that we wrote, that you sent me? Like, what did I do for myself today?
Yes,
like,
yes,
your
yes.
metrics of
The
success
4 metrics
for the
of
day.
success.
Yeah.
Yes. Was I kind to myself? Did I move my body? Did I do meaningful work? And did I participate in a meaningful relationship? Or did I, nurture meaningful relationships? I mean, really, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And you have to remind yourself of that. I've always been someone who, and these things have been around. Like in the 70s, I guess, there were this, hang in there. It was a little kitty hanging on the branch.
Severance.
Yeah.
I feel like Severance had that.
Severance does
too.
have that, but it's funny because that is a thing.
Yeah.
And Chip would always make fun of me, say, "Oh, you're like that little kitty on the branch," because and that's the thing. Sometimes, can I just live in my misery? Why are you so damn optimistic? Because I have to feel like I need to fix something or solve problems. So much. I have to say, everything has impacted me. I don't have like a particular book or a particular. It's honestly relationships, listening to people, being open and curious, seeking to. I tell my kids, like, just having an open relation. I tell you this too. Like, I've always said to my kids too, you make me want to be a better person. Having children was life altering for me, but even prior to that, you don't even have, like, always seeking to better myself, right? And always being curious. And people would say to me, like, "Oh, you think so much, or you talk too much." And I thought it was weird, or it was different, just because other people don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have my people that do.
Yeah. Or
and
being
then,
sensitive, or
yes,
feeler, that kind of stuff too.
Being sensitive.
We relate.
Yes, incredibly sensitive. Incredibly. But you know what? Again, I've recognized that's my superpower.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that's different than others. But it's almost like if you were to have a superpower and be a superhero, and you're the kid that can point at things and things go on fire, you got to learn how to use that power. With great power comes great responsibility, right? And you can't be so sensitive that you've drained yourself and you're not able to go through life and function.
Yeah.
But yet that sensitivity or empathy is, oh gosh, when people talk about like empathy and how, what is the word I'm looking for? Emotional IQ was a buzzword.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, oh, now we have a name for it.
Yeah.
And you can coin these, and I'm thinking, it's just fascinating to me.
I was just listening to a podcast on AI with Simon Sinek, that Y guy.
Yes.
And he was talking about with AI.
Yes.
The thing he wants to make sure that we preserve, like, it's fine if we forget how to spell, for example.
Yeah.
Like, just like we forgot how to memorize phone numbers and stuff like that, and addresses. But what we cannot lose is our humanity, our empathy, our ability to interact with people and face conflict and all this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Those soft skills.
Couldn't agree more. And the fact that we call them soft, I don't even like that word.
Yeah.
There's nothing soft about them. That's the hard part for a lot of people.
True.
So I find that interesting that they call it soft skills.
Yeah. I'm saying that, but yeah.
I know, but it is funny because people on teams that you work with, whatever.
Yeah.
I've worked with brilliant people that it's like oil and water in a team or something.
No, I know. And people like making fun of communications major, I was a communications major in college.
Yes.
Like, I think it's the most important thing.
It is.
That people are not going to teach you to the extent that they will the technical skills that you need to actually get your job done.
And words matter.
Yeah.
And because even if the technical skills are based upon a very specific job at a very specific industry.
Yeah.
Very specific to certain software, very specific to certain business goals that that particular company may or may not have.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
There are other things that I think are transferable to many more jobs.
Oh yeah, that's another thing you taught me about the transferable skills, and like everything that you do in life is helping you, and you don't even know how it's translating
You
until
don't. You'll pull from that
yeah.
arsenal or encyclopedia of experiences and knowledge
Yeah.
and go, when I served coffee, when I volunteered on blah blah blah, here's what I learned. So every interaction we have, everything we do, people I've sat next to on a plane that have shared a book with me or shared an interest or told me something that I did not already know, everything we've gone through,
Oh
it
yeah.
just, it all adds up. And our job is to be curious, open, aware, and be willing to absorb that.
Yeah.
And then what will you do with that information that you receive?
True.
It's like studying too. A lot of people can regurgitate. It's like
Rote rehearsal or something.
when you memorize something,
Yeah.
but you don't know the subject matter.
Yeah.
Like that's not living life to me. Also, sometimes you don't know what you miss. Like, and the pandemic was life altering as well because I would travel so much. My job is relationships building and all that stuff. It just comes natural. It's not even just because I'm curious about people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so interesting because you almost didn't, because I'm an introvert extrovert, I almost didn't want to go out again. And my anxiety would set in, and oh, I don't know about this going out again and talking to people. It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Wow, it's weird, first of all. But then you do, and you recognize how good it is.
Oh yeah.
And how we need that. That's what humans do. That's what animals do. The animals who are in packs, and even if they're not in packs, there's a social order to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so delightful sitting out here with you.
The thing about like you're too much for some people, that reminds me of like Oprah working in the uh whatever clothing store, and she would talk too
Yes.
much and get fired or something,
Yes.
and then
Yes. There's so many
just like
stories of
how
that.
you're
And that's why you
too
have to be
much is
careful of
just enough.
who and what you let influence
Oh
you.
my gosh, yeah, that's the whole artist's way.
It's like,
Talks
how
about
many
that too.
times have you heard that from an actor who've been told you're not the right whatever?
Yeah.
Or I've heard that same sentiment so many times.
Yeah.
I think even Michael Jordan has one too. There's several very, very famous people that have excelled in something where somebody's opinion, isn't that amazing too? And that's why you have to be careful of who and what you let influence you. Because why is it that you let the negative stuff stick with you
Yeah.
and the positive stuff washes away? You go into a review with your boss or whomever. It's one thing that you need to work on, and that's what you carry with you. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
We're much more in tune to like glom onto that one negative thing. And it's that attract that which water your grass. Like the grass is greener where you water it, where you
Yeah.
pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And so whatever you're highlighting and whatever you're focusing on, you are increasing its strength.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of just like it's better to keep highlighting your strengths than to work on your weaknesses. Have you heard that before?
Oh
That's
gosh,
why I'm
yeah.
like, get an assistant. That's what my
Yes.
brother talks about too. Like with
Yes.
salespeople, sometimes like it's better
Yes.
to outsource some things and keep on
Yes.
doing what you're good at.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And and there's that huge gap between knowing and doing. And
Yeah.
how do you get there? And yeah, I couldn't agree more though. You're absolutely right. And I did learn that when I worked at the law firm and you're billable. It was so weird to think that, well, I can do this, but why would you give it to an assistant or a secretary? Because what they bill you out per hour, it's not worth your time. I mean, it's an ROI. Do what you're best at and what comes easiest.
I love that.
I do
like
too.
Doing that. I'm trying to. Okay, I remember calling you. Remember, I called you at Halloween one year, and I was like, I feel so bad. I'm like having my most ideal evening. I'm walking on the beach and stuff, but there's just something inside of me that like I just feel so like left out or something, or FOMO from not
because
going
you didn't
to this
go to
Halloween
a party, but you were invited to the party,
even though I didn't want to, because
Right.
that's just like not what I
Because
wanted
you're like,
to do.
yeah, I didn't feel like it.
Yeah. I forget. I forget.
And
what you said.
I remember that too, because I said to you, you've chosen. It's not that you can't go to a party or you weren't invited or you're being excluded.
Yeah.
How are you labeling yourself a loser because you chose to spend time with yourself and walk on a beach in a sunset?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and it made me think of something too about the fact that we were listening to that book the other day when I had you listen to the chapter of the book, and it talked about giving up who you are for membership.
Oh, yeah.
That fabulous book.
How to not. I used to be a miserable
fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck, fuckity fuck. Doesn't that feel good, Emily?
Fuck.
Yeah. Let's say it. Say it with me.
I used to be a miserable fuck.
I used to be a miserable fuck.
I know on one of my Instagram, I made like a bunch of videos yesterday, and one of them was like, I don't give a flying fish. I'm like, I don't know when I want to say fuck or not. Or like when it's also allowed, because I got flagged for putting music in one of these videos before.
No, I did not know that.
I'm sure you're allowed to curse on YouTube, and probably anywhere.
I have no idea. I don't know what the rules are.
Matters. Yeah,
I'm the kind of person you can't put on speakerphone. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, the number of times I've spoken to someone, they're like, "Yeah, my kids are in the car." I'm like, oh, sorry. You got to lead with that. You got to lead with that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and that was the whole Aunt Wendy thing when I first had my cell phone in my car and I was dating Blaine. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. And I get in the car and I answer the phone in my bag phone in the car that you can't remove. Hey, did you get rid of the loser yet? No, he's sitting right next to me.
Oh my gosh.
Well, now the cat's out of the bag.
Did it end soon after that, or not that after?
No, it was drawn out.
Did he comment on that?
Yeah, and I didn't have the strength to be honest. Exactly. I was not honest, which is why I admire you, because you know what you want, and when you're ready to cut somebody loose, you're like, gotta go. I would always, that's when I was worried more about somebody else's feelings. Oh, why would I possibly? Kendall too, like she like not go on a date again or not going to do that, and just be very honest about I'm not interested. And I would go, oh, poor guy, because because I was also thinking of like Griff or I was thinking, God, that's so hard if you're somebody who puts yourself out there to ask someone out and the other person just shuts you down. But I've come so far on that. It's so much better to be honest. Just rip that Band-Aid off.
Because do you want Griffin or my brother or someone to be with someone who doesn't want to be with them?
No, you don't want to be strung along. Nobody does.
Whose entire family knows like you're with this loser?
No, exactly. Honesty is definitely better. I wish I'd learned that sooner.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be polite. Well, being polite is taking care of, sometimes the politest thing is taking care of you. And by taking care of you, you're then taking care of them. Because I agree, everyone deserves to be with people who value them, love them. Yeah. Like, what are you hanging on to?
Yeah.
But it is scary. And people will sometimes, well, quite frequently, we like comfort over.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So you'll even the devil or the negative relationship, whether it be, and I used to say it to Kendall growing up all the time, nobody gets the goodies. And I'd say it to her and her girlfriends. And now that they're all out of college and grown and 22, and I said, I saw them like at Christmas or whatever. And I was like, girls, when I would say that, it wasn't just, I was telling you like, be demure with the boys. Like nobody gets the goodies. I meant like girlfriends, boyfriends, bosses, neighbors, the goodies. That's you. Mm. Like you were so precious and so valuable, and know your own value.
Yeah.
It's so important. But that was from learning that, when you think others are more important than you or deserve to be treated in a more respectful manner than you yourself, you teach people how to treat you. And self-respect and self-worth, really, it's where it's at. You got to work on yourself. That's all we can do. Mm-hmm. And then you attract the best in all areas.
I agree. Yeah, it's cool because I have a YouTube video, Should I Stay or Should I Go? All about relationships.
Oh,
it's
basically
neat. A hype video to break up with somebody if you're in that stage.
Oh, I like that. Well, I'm going to have to check that out.
I have a lot to say on that.
I love it.
Like, yeah, how it's good for the other person and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's just not that into you.
And that you'll be okay.
Exactly.
Because it's hard for you, too, to let go of someone who wants to give you everything.
Oh, gosh, yes. Yes.
Oh, my gosh, it's hard not to settle. I'm just going to make sure
it truly is.
Still going. Cool. Still working. But yeah, that's what I struggle with. Like,
See,
when
you
somebody
talk too
wants
much,
to be.
it's still going.
Yeah.
We got plenty of space.
Yeah, yeah. Letting go of the attention and the validation and the comfort and the companionship and all that.
Oh, gosh, yes. Change is so difficult. Letting go is so hard. I think everybody struggles with change in one sense to another.
Yeah.
I mean, it's self-preservation. When something feels, your spidey senses go up, we like comfort.
Oh, yeah.
Scary to do something new.
Yeah.
Scary to try a new job. Scary to break up and, be alone. Oh, God, and there's so many damn holidays nowadays. Shit.
Yeah.
Because it's Valentine's, it's their birthday, it's this day, it's that day, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to do it now. There's never a good time. I think of that. Like, oh my gosh, I've been to Auschwitz, and I've never been to the Holocaust Museum. And people are like, you haven't been? I'm either in a good mood and can't handle it, or I'm in a shitty mood and can't go over the edge.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, when is the right time to break up with someone? When they're in a fabulous mood?
Oh my gosh.
So or when they're when they're in the dump. Here, let me just shit on you even more.
Oh my
even
gosh.
I don't love you. It's not you, it's me. Like whatever. Yeah. Like there's never a good time.
Yeah.
And I think of that frequently because it struck me as, yeah, why don't I go? Like, because I saw those little shoes and glasses and hair in person. Thank you. And I can remember it and the smell of the gas chambers and the everything. I could feel it. I was kind of like, I still, all this time, think, oh, I should go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really hard.
I want to go to that too.
I'll go with you. We should do that. I would like to go because I went when I was 19, 18, when I went to Europe and did that. It's so important that we don't let history be erased, that we learn from it, that we don't just forget it's not there and not teach people certain things about
what's
pain
crazy
and suffering.
How, similarly, the younger generations, like, I've seen things about cigarettes are cool again. They're coming out in music videos now.
Yes.
And I guess in movies, they have to be R-rated if they have cigarettes in them. And yeah, I guess kids were juuling, so then cigarettes don't seem as bad. But like, just I think people are forgetting.
Oh God, I hate vaping.
But I don't know.
I know Griff was in that age group where that was the cool thing, and it's funny. My nephew lives in Canada, and I was with them last week and I was asking about high school, and he's like, "Ugh, I hate going there. It smells like blueberry muffins." And I was like, "Blueberry muffins? That sounds delightful. Yeah. What do they make you, fresh blueberry muffins?"
Yeah.
Because I don't know. He's in Victoria, in it's a smaller location, I believe. I don't know how big his school is, but I remember going to the high school I went to is all girls Catholic school. The entire school was like 300 and something people. And they had these fabulous little old ladies that would make like homemade ravioli, and we had the best food. And I was like, "Oh, they're making blueberry muffins for you?" He's like, "No, it's from the vaping." And I was like, "Oh,
ew, that's my least favorite smell.
It's disgusting." I would pick Griffin up like 7th, 8th grade from school, from lacrosse, from wherever. A pack of boys would get in the car and it'd smell like kiwi, tutti frutti, starburst. I'm like, what the? It was sickening.
I know. It makes me nauseous.
It reminds me of the nasty, fake cherry smell. Like when kids threw up in grade school, they would put this sawdust crap and it always smelled like cherry.
Ew.
Or when you have like a fake smell in a bathroom that's a deodorizer. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, like that fakey cover up, or if someone has BO and like puts like perfume on or whatever. Yeah. Like, oh, that's a whole special mix. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't stand that. And it was crazy too, because it's kind of the fact that they were so big on getting rid of menthol cigarettes. But then this whole trail of, fruity flavors was okay. And I don't know how I feel about that, because it's not just the fact that fruit turns kids on, like it's the smell or the whatever. Uh, I don't know. I feel weird about even, I don't think it's just that. It's the access to it too, and the lack of enforcement, and the fact that they wouldn't make these cartridges something that couldn't be refilled.
Oh.
People would refill them with stuff,
Oh.
vitamin E, or even horrible things like kids would play tricks on each other, sell other kids these carts in school, and like a senior would sell a freshman one, and they'd put urine in it. Like grossness. How could you be refilling that shit?
Yeah.
Like I blame that kind of stuff more than whether it was a fruity scent.
Yeah.
And the point of access, that it's still nicotine. And I also blame the fact that we didn't have someone standing in the bathrooms in 7th and 8th grade to make sure people weren't doing that.
Yeah.
Or that we would be able to enforce kids not doing that in school. I'm glad they're about to ban cell phone use.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's interesting. But of course, there's carve outs too. Like if you need it for a special reason, or if it checks your blood sugar, if you're a diabetic. I don't know what I think about it. It's always going to be something that, but tobacco, it is so addictive. But if we're broken people in a broken society, anything can get you. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Oh,
and how you forget it.
Correct. You do. Yes.
If you don't.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. And I've been looking at a lot of like ads and the way advertisements were done. I was up on the hill and I was doing like Eastern Market. There's a great vendor there who has old advertisements. Oh God, there were so many cool ones. And the way they would advertise to women, or just about, there was one that had to do with like it's just the whole Marlboro Man thing. Or it's so fascinating. None of it was truthful. So interesting. I hear an owl. You hear that? Woo, woo. Probably the AC is overpowering it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of.
Yeah. No, I hear it.
You hear it?
Yeah.
We have barn owls too. They're like,
cool.
Woo hoo hoo hoo.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. That was interesting because the guys who were doing my bathroom, I did that sound one day because I was excited because I heard it and I was saying that to Griffin. And the guy looked at me funny and I was like, what? He had another word for it. And it was an owl. And I was like, owl. And he said, blah, blah, blah. And then I had looked it up, and owls to me bring peace. Like they've always been messengers of knowledge and peace. And I just love seeing an owl. And I always find it so special because it's a rare, I see more living here, but there's a pair that live across the street. And when my mom passed away, I had stepped outside to take a walk with a friend and do a colleague, and your mom had called. And it was during the pandemic, so only one person could be with my mother when she passed. And your mom called to tell me. And I'd only seen one owl at a time. There was an owl hooting and sitting directly across my neighbors, and I could see it right on a branch. And a second owl flew up, and the two flew away.
Wow.
And I felt like I knew, not even felt. That was my mom and dad. My dad came to take her to heaven.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was so wild.
That's so cool.
So I love owls. But anyway, this guy was like, looked at me funny. And then I looked it up. It's an omen of death or an omen of bad news. But I thought that was interesting about the owls that I saw.
Yeah.
But the fact that he said they were scary.
And also like death doesn't have to be bad news, maybe.
Correct. Like Dia de Mortis.
Yeah.
I love to celebrate Day of the Dead. Love it, love it, love it. The fact that you honor people.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
Okay, yeah.
I love other cultures.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go soon to meet with my family. They're going to my brother's new place.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, we could talk about like the signs of the universe.
Oh, totally.
Or like about death or
absolutely.
Mindset. Like
all right, cool. Let's do this again, girl.
And we're always reading new books. And
we're always reading new books and things to share. And oh my God, I love this.
But this was a great capsule of like, yeah, just the things I've been learning and thinking about for a while.
I love this. This is cool.
Yeah.
And you'll help me get out of my shell, because I have wanted to put some stuff out there, even for work.
Yeah.
Like to be able to highlight certain great things we're doing, like leadership and development, whatever we're doing. And I don't really want to make a video.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to hear themselves talk or see themselves. Nobody.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's icky. Yeah.
I don't even like on Zoom, like, ugh,
I know.
Distracted.
It's cool that what I'm doing is like art and like I'm trying to build a business, all this stuff, but I'm also just enjoying it, playing around with it. But it's cool that this kind of stuff is like the way that the world is going, no matter what job you have. Like I'm learning so many skills, and then bring people in like you that are now learning more of those skills too. I love it. And AI, I want to be able to make AI my bitch. Yeah.
I got to use it.
I know.
You know, so I'm trying to figure it out.
ChatGPT is my best friend.
It's amazing. And I'm like, how can I do this? And I'm so looking forward to utilizing the tools that are available and seeing how to do it. And I learned so much from you. So thank you.
But the thing about like, you don't want to watch yourself, whatever. Like I am viewing this as like, it's just like another room that you're in. Like the internet is such a, it's just a place.
It is just a place.
And it's also the things that you're saying. Like they're not thinking about you at all. They're thinking about how it affects them. Like you're just.
Well, here's the thing. I don't care when I go out. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know me. I'm a goofball.
I know.
We've danced in public.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best time. We need to talk about that next time.
We can do that
on one of our little dates.
I know.
You want to do it now? Okay.
Yeah, because I forgot about that.
I probably have pictures of it, too, on my phone. I know I do. We did it several times, but it started one time. You know what? We feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. Or the times we danced in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
After...
during COVID, after a walk in Meadowlark.
After the walk, we walked, the sunset, the park closed down. We had 2 cars, had our phones, blasted the music in our car, and had a dance party.
Yeah, it was so fun.
In the middle of summer. You know where you could lay on the pavement and feel the warmth on your body?
Yeah.
Like it was that beautiful, to this moment, I could remember that moment and how wonderful I felt. And the energy that was, oh my God, it was awesome. That's one of my most favorite times.
I know. Yeah, we did that then, and then in Mosaic and that morning.
Even now, if I'm driving in the car and a good song comes on, I'll videotape it and I'm singing something. And it's so funny because I'll send it just to be funny. And Kendall and Griff are college, so I'd send him a video.
Yeah.
And then Griff writes back, boy, you'll just make your fun anywhere, won't you? And I'm like, damn straight
yes,
but I didn't think about that, but I do. Yeah.
We need to send them to each other.
Or I always send you pictures of me like in the dentist chair. But I've never put
just
that
making
stuff
each other
out there.
Laugh.
Just making each other laugh. For sure.
So many things.
Just
like
quirkiness. But also no sense of feeling judged. I mean, and that's the thing. I don't feel judged.
Yeah.
Ever. Like I used to when I was younger and I used to care. Those days are so gone. You know?
Oh, yeah.
God, I don't feel judged at all.
And I was just telling you the other day, like when I'm more me and doing some of those things, like reading as I'm walking and with a big bag and stuff, we were talking about that. Like just do what you want to do.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. But we went to Old Town Alexandria and we had a speaker and in the middle of the grass. So I used to never dance ever, like didn't know how, whatever.
Oh, right.
And I was
Couldn't
starting
keep
to
a
learn.
beat.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We should look at some of those videos. That was good.
I still really can't
like,
that well. But
so much better though.
Yeah, definitely better. And I'll do it more. But yeah, we put a speaker on in the park by the water, like in this huge grassy area, and people are walking by and we're just dancing.
We danced and other people started dancing.
And cheering us on and like smiling and laughing.
And when you recognize, that happened to me one time at a concert. I think it was, God, who was it? Juice WRLD.
Oh, yeah.
I love Juice WRLD. Oh, my God. And the fact that he passed away is so sick to me because he was such a beautiful soul. So I took the kids to Juice WRLD and I was sitting up top.
Yeah.
And they were down below. And I was just being a goofball. And I was like, what's poppin', peeps? And just being a fruitcake. And Oh my God, the entire crowd was hyped. God, that was a good, and I was just having a good time. It was so funny.
Didn't someone think that you were his mom or something?
No, that was Billie Eilish.
Oh, okay.
Holy smokes, that was so funny too. Okay, so was that at the 9:30
What's
club?
poppin',
I
peeps?
can't remember. I think it was like 9:30. I was just being a goofus.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because they didn't know I was going to Billie Eilish, and I'm so glad I went. Oh my God, I have to look on my phone and see how long ago that was. It was probably like 7 years. I mean, it was amazing to me because the ticket was like $20.
Wow.
And she was at the 9:30 club. Wow. And I was so close to her. Like we were just in the front row.
Yeah.
She had like long straight hair, and oh my God, it was when she had that song the Blue Eyes
Ocean Eyes.
Ocean Eyes. Oh my gosh. That was like her most popular song when she was just coming out. And that was the only song I knew. Yeah. And Kendall loved her, and I was like, sure. So we went. I ended up getting a ticket at the door. I was just going to drop them off, right? But I ended up getting parking right in front, and I can't remember if it was a Black Cat or 9:30, whatever. It's a sketch neighborhood, whatever. But also, I'm just not going to drop my kids off in the middle of the city and leave, right? And then what if they need me and I'm not there? And so I would take them usually to concerts and be like, okay, these are the exits, these are the this. Let's be aware, and because I feel like you can't just send your kids off and not teach them things, right? And there were times I had a boot on my foot because of my Achilles. And there were other concerts we went to, and they allowed me, they were in line in the way back, and they allowed me to have my kids come up to the line with me. And so I was able to bypass because of ADA. And so we stood there at the front, and as people were coming in, we watched people that had taken drugs or done whatever. And their one friend, like there's these kids, and their one friend like couldn't be let into the show. And I was like, you don't want to be that friend. And I thought, these poor things, then what are you going to do? These girls like 14, 15, whatever, wearing like nothing. It's freezing outside. They get dropped off by a parent. She's so out of it. She's not going to get home. I wanted to save the world. I'm like, oh my God, you can't send that baby out walking the streets in DC on, Saturday night at 10 o'clock at night. Like, what the hell? Or whenever it was early in the day, but still just unsavory. Right. And I remember saying, you never want to be that person. Oh, yeah. Right. First of all, you don't want to be the one that doesn't get to go to the damn show because you have to take care of that person, and you don't want to be that person. Right. Just be in a safe place with safe people. Now is not the time. Like, be there to enjoy what it is. So anyway, this time though was just in the very beginning, I think one of the shows where I didn't tell them I was going in. And so they went in. I parked the car, and I had great parking right in front. Yeah. Because I had my little handicap thing too. And I hobbled in there, and I couldn't do the stairs. Yeah. So I said, I can't do the stairs. So the only elevator they had was like the freight elevator. And so they had to take me in the freight elevator, go around back, which passes through the green room. Oh, yeah. And then so I passed the room that they were on the back. And so then I'd gone in late. So what I did was I just happened to go up and asked if they need tickets, and I bought a ticket at the door. Imagine that. And I go back there, and I had to come up like kind of like enter on the stage and then go down the little steps around by the stage. So when I came out off the stage, all of these kids came up to me as I was making my way through the crowd to get a seat, because it was standing only in the front. Yeah. And I had to go where the seats were. And oh my God, are you Billie Eilish's mom? Can I get people like wanted to take selfies with me. Oh yeah, I'm an old white lady. I guess I must be her mom. It was just like so funny that they thought I was her mom. Yeah. And so then I was doing selfies with people, and then I was sending them to Kendall and Griffin. Yeah. And they were like, where are you? You're here? And Kendall, they were like annoyed I was there. Yeah. But it was just funny. That was really funny. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it was good times. Hey, we're doing a podcast.
Do you want to say any words?
There's the camera.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I just didn't know you guys were doing that. That's awesome, and I love your little mics, and that is so great. Does anybody need anything? Because I'm happy to do that while you're doing your podcast.
I'm good.
Okay. I'm good.
Thank you. Enjoy potting.
We're finishing up.
Yeah, we're finishing up.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just chatting.
I'm on the Emily show.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're chit-chatting. We're kibitzing.
I love it.
But see, most people don't want to do this. And they're like, eek, I don't know.
I don't know.
And you're like, yeah, sure.
Oh, I will do it.
I love it. Even like when I say that I'm doing this, you're like, awesome. Amazing.
I'm always game. Like when I travel with people for work too, that's what I learned too. Like I'm always game.
Yeah.
Let's go. I think you got to seize, you
have so many funny stories diem. Though, like those.
They are funny stories, and because I sat next to this guy too. Now I can't remember who he was. Cole, somebody. He was like somebody famous who did somebody.
J. Cole or no?
Yeah, I think so. Lemonade, something Lemonade was his. I think it is J. Cole because he was a producer that produced a lot of good stuff.
Oh.
There's some rap show, and I'm up there, and I'm like waving at the kids, and Griff's like, "Do you know who you're sitting next to?" I'm like, "No, I don't." It's really kind of. I'm like, "No, they just put me here." So they wouldn't know when I dropped them off if I would show up later or not. They're like, it's our mom. Yeah. Like, oh my God, look, she's up on the top. And Kendall's so funny because she's texting me, Mom, stop, right? Which I didn't see till after. I'm like, nobody knows I'm your mother. The hell? Or I'd see your brother at Oakton. Oh my God, it was so funny in high school.
Yeah.
Because Kendall's she was a grade younger than him, and then Griffin was 2 grades younger. But I'd see him and he'd walk across the street and I'd be like, Peter!
Oh, yeah.
My Peter, my Peter, or whatever. I'd honk the horn at him and they would like duck in the seat, And I get it. Nobody wants to be embarrassed, but I'm like, that's kind of my job.
Yeah. The What's Poppin' Peeps, though, is amazing. Like, I forget what happened, but I think we have a video of that. I remember.
Yeah, everyone got into it.
What's Poppin' Peeps?
I know. I don't even know where I got.
It's like a sea of people in a dark
exactly
concert.
God, I follow Snoop Dogg on Insta or something. Yeah. It was so just funny. I don't know why I said it. It was just really funny because when you're waiting for the people to come on, everyone is so hyped up.
Yeah.
And like anytime someone says something, so someone like poked and looked up or something, and then I was like, and somebody waved and I waved back. It was really funny. It was just hysterical. So the funny part for me was watching my kids' reactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, what the hell is she doing now? And now it's just funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Because who cares? Who was even there?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful because Juice WRLD's no longer on this earth and Billie Eilish is Billie Eilish. And I'm like, oh, that was so damn cool.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful I did that. On a school night or something, like for me and the kids. Like, I'm always up for it. Let's create good memories and good times.
I need to do that more for concerts.
You have to. And not even just do it. It's when you do it, like the dancing that we did. I've had my best times being instantaneous. What's the word?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, yeah, I forget that because I get very into like I want a good night's sleep or am I gonna feel like going somewhere? But if
I overthink it, I scare the hell out of me. Yeah, I can't do things in advance. Like I said,
good
like
point.
trying to go on a weekend.
Good point. You dropped them off and then bought it.
Yes, I fly by the seat of my pants. I love spontaneous because I don't give myself a chance to chicken out.
Good point.
The things that I enjoy the most are when I don't overthink it because I get in my own head.
Yeah.
Like things at work when I have to do something, I could do it in a second. I overthink it so much I let perfection stand in the way of progress.
And that's where this book will probably come in handy. I'm reading this now.
It's true.
Stop thinking. All right.
Well, this was fun. Looking forward to the next time.
Me too. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Love you.
I love you more.